Hello, 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 my friends, my lovers. It is a night of love. And we are happy that you're spending it with us.
Bold statement.
Kisses all around. Kisses for everyone.
Very special episode.
A very special episode. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Ghostlight RPGs. We are happy that you're here. This is Future Reign. We are playing Marvel Heroic Role-Playing with a twist. It's got an upgrade. It is an upgrade to the Cortex Prime, which both Cortex Prime and Marvel Heroic Role-Playing. I'm a little tongue-tied tonight. Is that sexy? Tongue-tied? Like you're tying your tongue
almost
with
Oh yes,
someone
very
you love?
sexy.
Both of which are designed by Cam Banks, who is great. Hello, chat. Welcome. Stealing girlfriends and being Valentines. Love it. Thanks for being here. So, as a reminder, we use Ko-fi as a tipping system. I'm going to drop it in the chat right now. If you feel like giving us a little love tonight, you can do so there, and we appreciate you for it. All of that goes directly to the cast, and that is that. Let's see. This is episode 3. If that surprises you, that's okay. You can jump right in. You ever pick up a comic book and be like, I don't know what came beforehand, but you read that first page, and it just tells you everything you need to know?
That's how I read The Death of Superman when I was like 10 years old. I was like, oh, he's dead. That's the first Superman comic I've ever read.
Great place to start.
Spoiler. That's amazing. If you are like, hey, that's cool, dude, but I'd rather go back and watch everything else, you can. You can go back and watch our first 2 episodes on our YouTube channel. I just dropped a link in the chat, so feel free to do that and come back and watch this one. It'll probably make more sense if you do. But if you're just here to stay, why don't we introduce ourselves? My name is Justin. My pronouns are he, him. I don't know. They're on the screen. You can see them clearly. I am the Watcher, aka the GM. And let's see. I'm going to pass it over to Rebecca. And Rebecca, tell everybody who you are, what who your character is, and why don't, and for the sake of Valentine's Day tonight, why don't you tell everyone your Marvel crush?
Okay. Hi, I'm Rebecca Munoz, she, her, and I am playing Rogue from the X-Men. And my crush, don't judge, but it has been since I was very young, but Beast was always my crush, and he still is. I love Beast to pieces. And if any of you know my husband, it makes a lot of sense.
It's all coming together in my head now. That makes sense.
It was one of those awful moments I had in like late at night while I'm lying awake looking at the ceiling, where I like thought back to all of my childhood crushes, and I was like, oh no, it's a pattern. Like it all adds up. But yeah, so that's my and also Rogue and Beast, those are my 2 favorites. My 2 crushes that I've always had. So yeah, I'm gonna pass it to Graham.
Hello, hi. I'm Graham Ward, he, him. I'm playing Hulk, aka Bruce Banner. Currently not hulked out. In real life or in our fiction here.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so I'm honestly like racking myself. I cannot decide. I have so many comic book crushes. A lot of them tie back to 80s X-Men because of the period of my life that inhabited. So like I want to say Storm. I think I'll stick with Storm. Closely seconded by Captain Marvel.
Yeah, that's good.
Gotta do it. Okay, sorry.
No,
He's just
lost
suddenly
in thought of daydreaming.
How could you not? Being whisked away in Storm's arms.
That's pretty much. Graham, with the wind and the lightning. Okay. Pass it to Elise.
How can I follow that? Hello, my name is Elise Poehling, she, her, and I'm playing Black Widow. And my Marvel knowledge mostly comes from the MCU, and so my Marvel crush is Captain America. Okay, we can stop talking about it. That's who it is. And that's who it will always be. I also do love Spider-Man too.
That's great.
As well. But yeah, I'll pass it over to Hollis.
Whoa, unmuted. Hello, my name is Hollis Wilhoit. He, him, his. I'm playing Matt Murdock / Daredevil, and my Marvel crush is probably specifically Kristen Ritter's Jessica Jones.
I love that. I love that for you, buddy. I'll take it from there and say that listen, I have read so many Marvel comics in my life. My crushes change constantly. Kitty Pryde was #1 for a long time. Mary Jane Watson is up there. Misty Knight. Misty Knight. I'll stop there before I embarrass myself too much. But all of them really just depends on the day of the week, man. Let's see. Where was I gonna say? Sorry, now I'm lost in thought.
It's really
I was
easy
like,
to get
there are
lost
like
in
3 others I could. No, okay, let's move on. You may have noticed that we have an empty seat down in the bottom right there. Kelsea, our Human Torch, is unlike the rest of us, actually had Valentine's Day plans tonight and is out there having fun. So hope you're having a hot night, Kelsea. Enjoy it, and we'll be here. And do ya justice. I was gonna say honor. That's not. Let's move on. We have a content warning here for Future Rain. This is a rated R stream. We use strong language, graphic violence. There will be elements of horror and despair. You know, please, that we do utilize safety tools, such as our Ghostlight stoplight. We have little color-coded things here that help us keep each other safe and respectful of each other's boundaries. I think that's all. So why don't we jump into another episode of Future Rain? Woo! Previously on Future Rain. After being pulled through a portal called the Nexus Gate, our heroes found themselves in an alternate universe 30 years in the future, where almost all superheroes have been killed or otherwise defeated, and villains reign supreme. Having been brought to Fisk Lake City by a grown-up Lunella Lafayette, aka Eclipse. You might know her as Moon Girl. I don't know if I ever mentioned that, but I thought Eclipse was like a cooler adult name. Let's move on. Yep. The party was introduced to a small band of resistance fighters, including Kurt Wagner, aka Nightcrawler, and Danny Cage, aka Powerhouse. After figuring out a plan to get themselves home, the resistance base was destroyed by an elderly wrecking crew, starting a battle that crept into the streets. In the aftermath of that battle, the heroes removed the wrecking crew's enchanted weapons and drained their power away. Then, they took a moment to recover before deciding to infiltrate the Kingpin's castle, a converted Temple Square. Rogue used her mimic powers to leech some memories from Thunderball and secured a mind palace of the fortress. Yeah. Johnny befriended a resistance member named Veronica. Bruce used Lunella's power dampener tech to build a de-hulking chip within his body, giving the team the ability to try and calm him down if they ever need to. Finally, in the cover of night, Daredevil and Black Widow sneaked into Kingpin's compound to try and free the captured resistance leader Billy Kaplan, aka Wiccan, aka the Sorcerer Supreme. They found Billy, but he had been tortured, missing fingers, incredibly weak, and with a darkness in his veins. However, before they could free him from his mystical bonds, Mac Gargan, aka Scorpion, descended from the shadows and attacked. Natasha called in the others for support, but not before Matt, Daredevil, was skewered through the back by Scorpion's massive stinger. We begin on a rainy New York street. People walk down, doing their own thing, umbrellas up, kind of focused on the task at hand, busy New Yorkers as they are. We find you, Matt Murdock, entering the door, ding ding, of Josie's bar, your usual stomping ground. You enter and see the usual layout. Across the way, on the far corner, in your usual booth, you see your friend, Foggy Nelson, sitting in a booth, just kind of lurched over a beer. Glances up at you, gives a sort of hey face, and beckons you over to sit. As you sit down, you can tell he's been crying.
Yeah.
You see it in his eyes, and you can just sense it. You see it. Jeez, again. You know.
I know, buddy. Well, no.
It's gonna happen a lot.
For picking this one.
You sense it. You can hear it in his heartbeat.
Yeah, of course.
It's something that you're not used to feeling within Foggy, but recently, ever since an incident, you have noticed he is incredibly nervous around you. Might even say fearful of you.
Okay.
He starts to speak, stops, starts again. How have you been, Matt?
I've been okay, buddy. Missed you.
Yeah, I missed you too.
Is everything all right? You seem a little nervous.
Yeah, just been worried about you, I guess. Worried about us, I guess.
Yeah, I've been wondering about that. And, listen, she won't meet with me. Karen won't meet with me, so it means the world that you've invited me here, and I want to fix this. So tell me what I can do.
Takes a long drink from his beer. He looks to you. Karen moved. She's, she didn't think she could tell you in person. She didn't. She moved to DC.
DC. Great. Good for her.
Honestly, there was a journalism gig there, and she's
Right.
going to be covering the presidency, so that's cool, I guess.
Great.
Matt, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't.
No, it makes sense. It makes sense after what happened. And, with her gone, I'm just wondering what has you sticking around? I mean, you saw what I did. You've seen what I can do. What has you sticking around, Foggy?
I don't know. I guess just I know that's not who you are. I I don't think we should be judged by our worst days.
Our worst days. You know I did what I had to do. Fisk had you hostage. I had to subdue him. I had to be that violent. Man, I don't understand what I did wrong.
I don't know that I don't know that you did do anything wrong, Matt. I just, you know, we saw that. We saw you, and we saw, and I guess I'm a little more used to it. I just, you know, Karen is I mean, Matt, you almost killed him. You were gonna kill him.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I never meant for you to see that.
She, you can tell he wanted to say something, and he thinks better, takes a sip instead, and just sits there for a moment.
You know, we were trying for a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She told me.
She did. Good. I just don't know if that's a possibility now.
Yeah. Look. I don't know if that life is compatible, right? I mean, not with what you're doing. But Matt, if you give it up, I know she'd come. I mean, I know she'd. Can you just give it up?
Foggy, you know I can't do that.
I know. That's why I'm here. Because, you can't give it up, and I can't give you up, so...
I think in the middle of that sentence, I kind of lose all inhibitions, and I grab you. I hold you close. I'm just so glad you're okay.
You hold him tight, and sense just outside the window sort of a commotion. The footfalls are quicker, and heartbeats are going much more rapid. You see people are sort of looking up and pointing up and sort of talking about something in the sky.
Foggy, get down.
He does. After a moment, with nothing happening, you feel the need to go outside, and as you open the door of Josie's, hearing that bell, ding ding, look up, you see the massive shield helicarrier high above the city, in motion as it moves, and from it you see multiple Quinjet-esque vehicles sort of stopping. One pulls right down into the street about 3 blocks down from you, and you see, or sense, I suppose, from this far away, only because you know this figure as well as you do, you sense the massive body of Luke Cage hop up into the to the Quinjet, followed by who you would assume is maybe Iron Fist, Tigra, a few others. And as that Quinjet ascends into the sky, another one stops by, or rather, a few others are stopping by. That one continues up, and you see thwipping along the street. You see Spider-Man.
Yeah.
As he sort of swings down. He does not recognize you, obviously, in the crowd, in your street clothes. He wouldn't know who you are, so he just keeps swinging on by. And you see as he sort of catches on to the Quinjet and just kind of catches a ride up to the helicarrier. You feel a hand on your shoulder, and you see Foggy there next to you. I guess it's time for you to go somewhere.
Hey, man. You want to come with me this time?
What? Really?
Come on. And then I grab him by the collar and I just rush to the nearest plane.
You run. You rush. We see you get to one of the planes. And as you are loading on board, he says, Matt, it's not that I'm not into this, because this is awesome, but look, he kind of pulls you aside real quick and just kind of holds your hand and says, I know you have to do what you have to do here, and I get that. All I'm asking is that you don't lose yourself in the middle of it, because I don't have DC. I have you, buddy. And I don't want to lose you.
I grab him by the neck, put my forehead to his forehead, and I tell him I'm not going anywhere.
And as you say that, we hear you are in a dark, dank dungeon corridor, and you have just been skewered through the back by a incredibly lethal, sharp tail of a sadistic and deranged villain. We are going to jump right into an action scene here, my friends. But we're going to do it in a sort of interesting way. We have Daredevil and Black Widow in this sort of basement corridor with Scorpion. And we have on the sort of top side of things, we have Hulk and Rogue, and Johnny Storm and Powerhouse and Eclipse, sieging the castle, if you will, from the sky, from the top, from outside, essentially. So we're gonna kind of jump back and forth. You can still pass to each other like normal, but just recognize that you are in sort of different fighting arenas, if you will. So before we jump in to that, let me go ahead and paint the scene of what's happening up top here. Graham, Rebecca, the two of you have decided to push forward through the street side fighting that is currently happening. Johnny Storm, Lunella, and Danny are with a good amount of civilian-esque resistance fighters taking on the massive force of military that are in that have sort of fed into Fisk Lake City streets. So they are sort of doing crowd control while you, Bruce and Rogue, get past the outer city walls and into that courtyard area that I was referring to earlier. That sort of is a mix between a garden and a military camp. The two of you have sort of snuck past their defenses just a bit, and are sort of in this outer courtyard, still outside of the castle itself, or the fortress, the chapel. But see in front of you about 15 or so military fighters that are armored up and ready to fight. And they will be represented by a mob here. Graham, if you could build me one. It's going to be a 3d6 mob. Okay. So, you all know that something bad is going down inside. You don't really know what, but we will start this fight back inside in the dungeon with Daredevil. You have just been skewered. What do you do next?
I'm gonna try to use my billy club to just like whack the guy on the head. Try to just shock him.
Sure. Make the roll, baby.
Cool. Sure, man.
Love it.
Love it. Stunning.
Stunning.
Stunning. And I'm on a team, yeah?
This is Buddy, actually.
Or pardon, Buddy. Yeah. Yeah, tight.
It's you and Natasha down there.
Yep.
Along with a really bad shape Billy Kaplan.
Right. Okay, so I have a 15 with the D10 effects.
Amazing. I have had to grab more dice from my bag, so 1 second.
You're fine.
Okay. Wow. Starting off the day with a real shit roll here. So, a 15, you said?
15 with the D10 effect.
Well, buddy, that is what we call a heroic success in these parts. And, you have... That was a D10 effect. That's going to become a D12 effect.
Great. Good.
Which
Awesome.
is pretty quick.
I think as I'm spitting blood, it's just like pouring from my mouth as I've been stabbed in the back. I'm just beating the fuck out of Scorpion, saying, fuck you, just like gurgling on my own words.
Phenomenal. What effect are you wanting this to take here?
That would be physical, thank you very much. Goodbye forever.
Physical stress on Scorpion. Let me pull him onto the board real quick. Physical stress on Scorpion. You'll love to see it.
Yeah.
Sorry, y'all. 1 sec. Okay, so we have you just berate Scorpion in this way. What? So you smack him once. I mean, like in succession here, but one just clips him across the face, and you see that you have just like gouged his eye, and he screams like a shrill like ah! And you can tell that you have hurt him immensely. Who do you want to pass it to next?
I'm gonna pass it right to I'm gonna pass it to Rogue.
Sick. Up top.
Oh, I thought you were... Alrighty, so let's see. We are... and you said there's still people in the courtyard?
Yes. So there's about 15 or so different military armored up figures that are sort of... They don't seem to have noticed you two. They just are like kind of getting, weapons and whatnot ready to go join the fight out there. So you could try to sneak past them if you want to. You could try to... I mean, it's kind of up to you what you want to try to do here.
I think Rogue's gonna look at
Bruce.
She's gonna look at Bruce for a second and give him a look of like, you want to fight or sneak?
Yeah, I think you look over and I'm like,
all right. Like she sees that happening, and so a little eagerly, she just flies out right into the open. And I think she's gonna go for, because you said there's like tents and everything. I think the idea is that she's going to fly out, try and like grab some of the corners of one of the tents and like scoop up a bunch of them in it. Like
I love
sack.
that.
And she's gonna say, put on your dancing shoes, boys, we're about to have a barn burner. And she's gonna try and yeet the tent over the wall.
You need to win an award.
Yeah.
I'd love to see your Google search history.
You know, it was up. Like the first 2 sessions, I did have like some lists on some Google things, but now I'm like, okay, I think I'm seeing the pattern that they tend to use. I'm freestyling it, so I apologize in advance. Some naughty things might come out. Okay, that is.
Are we calling them the Goon Squad, by the way?
That's what I put. I don't know. Right. I didn't see any other ideas.
That's great.
Okay, that's a 13 with the D10.
Fantastic. I got an 11 with a D6, so that is a success. Your D10, what effect are you wanting to have here?
Definitely physical, because they're like flying through the air now. They're airborne.
All right, yeah. You kind of gather them up, swooping, grabbing a solid third of them, and just kind of whip them around. Just kind of maybe do you toss them away? Just outside of the field of vision, you have eliminated 1d6 off of their mob here. Perfect. Thank you, Graham. So
Alright.
They are down to 2d6. Fantastic. Who do you want to pass it to?
Since Hulk is raging out, I kind of want to see what happens, so I'm gonna pass it to Graham.
Fantastic.
Okay, yeah, I start like running through, and I grab one of them, like as I'm swooping past, and just like plow into them basically, but as I'm leaping, and I kind of like turn around mid-air and look back at Rogue, and you see the Hulk just like, full big, his like 4-inch teeth, as I'm like, sailing backwards. What I'm trying to do is actually leap all the way onto the top of the castle.
Ooh, okay.
And like crash through the roof.
He's in a Hortense mood. Oh my god.
Amazing. All right.
But so I'm using leaping, but really I'm going for physical stress on the squad as I'm plowing through them.
Okay, I love it.
Okay. And this is the moment when I realize I don't have any of my dice out. All right, so I'm going to do D12 for my strength. I'm going to do... I'm not going to list them all. I'm just going to start rolling. I'm on team, so I have a D6.
I don't really cut to these little one-on-one moments enough. I didn't really do it at all last time, and I regretted it. So those of you at home can now take a look at his...
yes.
I'll
be using. Hold on, I need to take a look too on Twitch screen. All right, I'll be using my. I think don't make me angry. I think there's like the sort of petulant toddler inside Bruce is just infuriated that he has to do this. Here we go. Yep. I rolled 2 1s, so that's fun.
Wow.
And then my total is 16. With a D8 effect.
Okay, well, I will buy
points.
your 2 1s, 2 plot points for you, my friend.
Sweet.
And I will take, you know what? I'm actually gonna do 2 D6s here. Added to the Doom pool. And then you got a 16, you said?
Yes, with a D8 effect.
Awesome. So that is gonna be a success. Not quite heroic, but will be a success. Yeah.
Okay. So the Goon Squad's down to 1d6.
Yeah.
Fun.
Phenomenal.
Okay. And then Hulk's just like sailing, and then probably Rogue. You see him like crash through a dome, or I guess there aren't really domes in the Salt Lake Temple.
Lordy.
And I'll pass it over to. Let's see. Did Rogue start, or did someone else already go?
So we have Daredevil, Rogue, and you who have gone here. And I want to address one thing. I'm sort of retconning, or rather not retconning, but adjusting something that mechanically from the last session. We in the past have I've sort of had allies taking their own turn, but thanks to BWS2K, in the Discord. I actually have a better idea for that, really their idea, and that is that allies will now become extras, which just means that you all can sort of add allies if they're in your scene, like in your sort of moment. You can add any ally as a D8 to your roll if you are incorporating them into your action. So it just gives you guys a little more options in your dice pools. That being said, Human Torch, Powerhouse, and Eclipse are sort of in the exterior at the moment, so they are not currently usable by anybody. But
Cool.
with that in mind, Graham, who do you want to pass
Okay.
to?
Yeah, I'll pass it to Black Widow at the risk, Justin, of having all our villains go at the same time. This is like
That's right.
the opening page of the comic book where we're all going in.
Yeah, I mean, after the cliffhanger of the last one, I think that's great.
All right, so I was picking the lock when this started, so I'm going to continue to try to keep picking the lock while I give Scorpion a good old electric blast. So let me roll for that real quick.
Cool.
Okay.
Here,
Oh.
let me get an Elise close up.
Hi
Wow, there you are.
guys. I have a 17 with a D8 effect.
Awesome. Let me give it a roll real quick. Sorry. It's focused on something else. I hate to be the one to do this to you, but because he's already at a D12 stress, I am going to spend a die from the die pool here, the Doom pool, to bump it up to an 18 for Scorpion. Sorry. I don't want him to die just yet. So that will be a failure. No, you can spend a plot point to add another die to your thing if you
Yep.
want to.
Yep. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna use a plot point. Oh, and it'll have to be a D8. Yep. Let me roll it real quick.
What's it gonna be?
It didn't help me out.
It didn't?
Oh, so okay.
So
Pause.
sorry, so
Would I add this number to my 17?
you have two options.
Okay.
With one plot point, you can take another die that you already rolled that wasn't a part of your total or your effect, and you can add it to your total.
Okay.
And all you needed was one.
Yep.
So any die should
Yep.
do, except for
Yep.
you can't use ones, obviously.
No, and I don't have any. So yes, I will add the 6 to it to make it 23.
Which will actually be 5 steps higher. Fantastic. So Scorpion isn't even gonna get a turn. I don't know that I played that right, but that's on me, baby.
He did some damage though.
He did. He got a sneak attack and then was immediately regretting it. So, Natasha, how do you take Scorpion out?
Okay, so I'm picking this lock. I wrote down what he said in the last session. The first thing he said was, "I've been waiting for someone to play with."
Yeah.
And so Natasha turns around while he's skewering, beating whatever she says. You'll have to wait a little bit longer. She's still picking the lock, electric blast right in the face.
His face, which by the way has just been like an eye, has been literally in the beating that Daredevil was giving him. That baton gets underneath, like into his eye socket, and just kind of pulls back, and it just like his whole eye is just sort of like bruised open, like you broke the bone basically of his eye socket, and you come in, just shock his face, and you see him just and just kind of fall over, not dead necessarily, but it immediately eliminated from this fight. Great job, you two. Man, never even got a turn to use my sweet special effects. All right. Maybe he'll live another day. Who knows? Who do you want to pass it to, Elise?
Oh, let's see.
Your options are no longer Scorpion or the Goon Squad. So I guess you have the Goon Squad.
Go Goon Squad, go.
Okay. Back up top, the Goon Squad is... Let's see. So we just saw Rogue whip them around. Hulk came in, just blasted through them. But as Hulk blasted through them, those ones that you rolled, Graham, are sort of reflective in the fact that when you kind of bulldozed past them, a crate of like grenades, energy grenades, sort of spilled out onto the ground in front. And essentially what I'm going to do for that is have the Goon Squad sort of basically contribute to the Doom Pool in this moment, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Ooh.
Hang on. Let me do this. Okay. So can I add their effect die to the Doom Pool? Is that essentially how that would work? If they're upping the Doom Pool? I think that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I'm buying it.
Yeah. It's just the question is who's gonna roll the opposition. That's all.
Right.
If you want, it could be me since I'm.
I think it'll be you. Yeah, I think it'll be you. You're right there on the ground with them. Go ahead and roll the opposition.
Okay, I'm gonna use Man or Monster at a D4 to gain a third plot point.
Okay. Nice.
Because my monstrousness is causing problems.
As it does.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna add my leaping.
As Graham is preparing that die pool, Rogue, you swing those guys off, and as you do, you look in, like, sort of swish around, turn around, and see down inside like a large sort of like stained glass window. You see a very bright light glowing from inside that window. Just a little flavor for you. Graham, what'd you roll?
I rolled an 11.
Let me tell you what I rolled, I suppose. Sorry, I guess I'm the actor. So I got a 13 with a D6.
I got an 11, and I rolled a 1.
Okay. I will pay you a plot point for that one. I will add... Yeah, I guess I just have to add a D6. And then, because of your plot point, I will add another D6. Wait, no. I can spend a plot point to up a D6 to a D8, or a D8 to a D10, or whatever, right?
Yep. Yeah, the lowest.
It has to be the lowest one. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. In that case, I will undo that. Those of you watching at home, if it hasn't become clear after 3 episodes, sort of a work in progress as a watcher in this game, so I still learning a little bit.
Well, we think you're fantastic.
Hey, thanks.
Marvelous.
So the Doom Pool is growing. Marvelous. I caught that. Thank you. So because of this, Graham, Bruce is right in the middle of all of these grenades that have just gone on the ground, and as they look over to you, they all jump out of the way and boom. massive explosions all around you that sort of crumble, like start to crumble the chapel a little bit. Like you're right there next to the chapel, and so you just sort of see like that stained glass window you looked through, Rogue, cracks down the center, and just like a few pieces chip away. Bruce, don't take any damage from that because you're holding. Sure, why not? But with that being said, that was their turn. I will now pass it over to Rogue. Rebecca, you are muted, my friend.
So the big explosion happens, and that glass cracks, and I think that's why Rogue looks at that window.
Sure.
And she sees that bright light, and this is probably a trap, but I like shiny things. And I think Rogue's just gonna like go ahead and just fly right through that window and try and see what's on the other side, because maybe it's a gate home. Maybe it's already done.
Sure. Okay. Smashing through the window and going inside of what once was a temple and now is a fortress, you find yourself inside that same vision you saw earlier when you were sort of rooting around in Thunderball's memory, of a throne room. A banner across of that sort of glowing crown. I don't know did I mention that beforehand? I don't know if I did, but the insignia on the banner, which are like dangling from the peaks or the, I guess, steeples, or I don't know what they're called, the spires outside. You couldn't really tell what they were, but in the throne room here, there is a banner proudly hung and an insignia of a crown that is sort of glowing, like it has like little glowy marks around it, essentially. The glowing thing that you saw is in fact a person.
Hell.
Glowing with a reddish purple radiant light around them.
Hell.
And you are here. They are I said you are here, that makes any sense. you are floating. You know, you're in the air. They are not 15 feet away from you, also floating in the air.
Hell.
You can tell that on their back is a magnificent red cloak, and their body is more massive than even the billowing cloak behind them. You recognize Wilson Fisk in front of you.
Hell no!
He has those reddish purple glowing sort of eyes. You see that he has ancient looking rings on his fingers, and around his neck you recognize that you've seen on Doctor Strange a few times a necklace with the symbol of an eye in the center that you recognize to be the Eye of Agamotto. And you realize Wilson Fisk is quite different than you knew him to be.
Oh my god. Is he the Sorcerer Supreme? Wait, no. I'm dumb. I don't know.
Just
okay,
took his shit.
Okay, Rogue sees that, and I don't know, she's just gonna I think she's gonna fly at him and try to give a punch.
Awesome.
Maybe see if I can break one of those. Maybe see if I can rip the cape off him or something.
Sure.
And this is a solo. That's so fun. All right. It does not go well. This is gonna hurt. Okay. Not high rolls, but here we are. 17 with a D10. That sounds like a lot of dice.
I did roll a 1.
Ooh! Can I buy it? Unless someone else wants to buy it.
If you want to. All right.
Actually, I'm gonna hold off on that.
Okay.
Maybe.
I got a 20.
You son of a bitch!
Whoa.
Do you want to spend a plot point to try and up your roll here? Do you have other dice in your pool that you could add?
I would like to do that.
Okay.
And do I add the total or what the dice number is?
So your total is 2 dice, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you have another die in your die pool that you already rolled, add that value on the die to your total.
Very well. I would like to do that, and I will be adding a 4 to my 17, which makes 21.
21. Nice. So
Math!
So you beat it. Now, what's your effect die?
D10.
Great. D10. What do you want the effect to be?
I think we're just gonna make this one a hindrance. Or is that what it is? I'm looking for my dialogue.
A complication?
Complication. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think just because she's yanking on that cape, like I think she's pulling him like backwards through another wall, essentially.
Sure. You sort of lock eyes with him, and without another moment, you swiftly dart around, grab the cape, and just pull hard. This complication, what do you want to name it? You're great at these.
Let's see. Well, now I'm blanking. You should have done
sorry,
that.
I put you on the spot. Put you on the spot there.
Let's call it Tug-a-Tubby.
Okay, sick. Sick. Who do you want to pass it to?
I'm gonna pass it to, let's see. Everyone's outside. I'm gonna pass it to...
And Graham could... Actually, I'll do that while you're doing that.
What was the die size on the complication?
That
10.
D10. I'm gonna pass it to Daredevil.
Right on. And Justin, what can I see in terms of what's going on with this fight? Can I see anything, or am I just...
I did just yank him through a wall. I don't know if that helps a blind guy, but...
In terms of the fight upstairs, none of it.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure I'm hearing every single bit.
I do think you do hear some... you definitely heard that explosion that happened outside that sort of shook the whole foundation. In addition, you heard just some scuffling happening upstairs. But I think what you notice is that, once again, Billy Kaplan has a very faint heartbeat. And you yourself have a faint heartbeat.
Well, I was going to say, I think... So, how hurt am I? Like, if I had a stress level... I mean, I feel like I used my last bit of energy to just knock the shit out of Scorpion.
I'm sorry, what was your question?
So I'm impaled still, right?
You are still impaled. The tail has gone slack, but it is still in you. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So in that case, I'm going to turn to Natasha and tell her to get him the hell out of there. I need help now. I need medical attention right now. Let's just move this right along. And then in the middle of me telling her what to do, I catch a whiff of Fisk's musk. Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah, after 30 years, the man still uses the same cologne.
Yeah.
Yes, you definitely.
Yeah.
You smell that, and immediately, you know exactly what you're in for, or so you
Yeah.
think.
And I know for a fact that I cannot beat him right now. So again, just spewing blood from my mouth, I'm saying, get him out of there. Get him out of there. Get him out of there.
Working on it.
Great.
I don't think I can roll for anything, my friend. I'm so screwed.
Do you want to try, like, to get yourself off of that, unimpale yourself, and maybe we can call that like a recovery roll here?
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'll do that. Thank you so much for helping this young man.
Dude, I'm in the same boat, baby. It's all good. Maybe
Okay.
Graham can help guide us through what that looks like.
Yeah, I would say take an action against the Doom Pool.
Doom Pool, right. That makes sense.
And,
Okay, cool.
Maybe step back your stress.
Step back my stress. Okay, cool.
Yeah, if you succeed.
It's gonna be
you'll
tough.
step back your
Big Doom
stress.
Pool.
It is a big Doom Pool. I would
Yeah,
love
let
to
me-
use it on you guys, but my villains don't seem to have any turns they get.
Oh my god, it's so rough. Okay, so I rolled a 1.
Okay.
I rolled a 1. I've got a 15 with the D10 effect, though.
Fantastic. Let's see. Yeah, that'll beat it. I've got a 9. You heroic success on recovery?
That's a good question. I think so.
Maybe.
It's up to you mid-scene.
I
how
don't know.
possible
Yeah,
it is.
That feels a little overpowered for you just pulling this thing out of you. Let's skip on the heroic success, but you do succeed, and can step back your stress die 1 step.
Right on. And what was the stress there at the end of last week's session?
D10.
D10, I think.
D10?
Zero to eight.
So
Dope.
you're down to a D8, and I will also pay you a plot point to up this D6.
Oh, man, it's Doom Pool.
D8. It's getting bad out there. All right.
All right, so in that case, I'm not going to use that plot point, my friend. I'm just going to, like, slowly remove the stinger, right? And then I'm gonna make a move. I'm gonna tear my mask off, right? And press it on the wound, wrapping it nice and tight with the swing line from my billy club.
Okay.
Just give myself a little bit of pressure.
Love it.
As I'm watching Natasha just furiously try to pick this lock. I just don't want to bleed out.
Love that. Are you
Yeah.
passing it to Natasha then?
I'm gonna pass it to Natasha.
Great.
Yeah. Yep. I'm gonna say, stay with me, Murdoch, as I try to pick this lock. Should I roll for that?
I'm gonna say you don't need to roll to pick the lock. That's something that you can do pretty easily. After you pick the lock, however, and swing that door open, you do see in front of you Billy Kaplan. He is still bound in these sort of like sickly green, ethereal light chains to the ground. And as you sort of like maybe inspect them, you can like put your hand through it. It's like not there, but as you try to like lift him up, he is bound to the ground with them. Like
Okay.
they're not what's the word, corporeal, I suppose,
Yeah.
to you, but
Yeah,
they are to
they're-
him.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm going to imagine that this is all in his head, possibly. Yeah, I'm going to sit in front of him. I'm gonna kind of give him a little hey, and try and wake him up a little bit.
He comes to, and he says, he kind of, where am I?
You're in Fisk's hideout. You're chained to the floor. I can't help you get out of them. We need to figure out how you can help yourself get out of them.
Fisk, he's He's got the eye.
What?
You need to take it.
Oh shit. Okay. In that case, I'm going to. I'm on a comm link, right, with most everyone.
Yeah.
Yep. Then over that, I'll just be like, Fisk has the eye. Fisk has the eye. Get the eye.
Awesome. Do you what do you think you do after that?
I'm gonna go straight over to Daredevil and try to. I think I need to stay where I am rather than go and help fight, just to keep an eye on him and Billy. I'm gonna stay where I am and try to tend to Matt Murdock.
Okay, sure. Trying to think of something that you could roll here. I'm open to suggestions.
I just think if it doesn't seem obvious what you're gonna roll, move the action forward to something that you are gonna roll on. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if there's not enough stakes to roll, you do it, and then what's the next thing you do that's like, gonna be a challenge and directly contribute to us succeeding.
So I've got pressure on the hole in my stomach, but I am bleeding from the back in a pretty major way, right? So I think I'm gurgling, and I'm just like grabbing at your collar, Natasha, and I say, you got it. And I roll to my back and I show you the hole. You've got to help. You've got to help. I'm so sorry. You've got to help me.
I would like to then maybe roll to rip a thread off of my jacket, whatever I'm wearing.
Sure.
There's got to be something sharp around me somewhere. That would resemble a needle.
You mean like a scorpion stinger?
Yeah, well, there's that. Yes, exactly. Yes. Yeah. And I'm gonna then tie it up, and I'm gonna say, brace yourself. Try and sew him up as best I can.
Oh.
Which would, I think Natasha, I think she has a lot of skills in that way of surviving on the road, all by herself. Yeah. So she knows how to do this pretty well. She doesn't have much empathy for what he's feeling, but she's gonna get the job done.
Awesome.
Not very gentle, are you?
Why don't you go ahead and roll against the Doom Pool here, Elise?
Okay.
Try to make a recovery roll for Daredevil here. Let's replace that.
Oh, I rolled 2 1s.
Oof. 2 1s?
Yikes, 2
Holy
1s.
Crap.
And I have a 13 with a D10 effect.
Whew. I have a 17.
Great.
So that is going to be a failure. Which,
yeah.
Does a failure make it worse, Graham?
I
feel like that's something
right.
I read.
Yep, I think that's right.
So what happens here? Boy, oh boy. I will buy 1 of your 2 1s.
Okay. Okay.
And up this to a D10. Wowzers. Things are looking very
And then his stress
doomful.
goes up to D10 again.
And his stress goes up to a D10 because as you do this, Elise, Natasha kind of flips him over, and as you sort of try to put pressure on this from the the scorpion stinger, essentially, you press in. Matt, you feel incredible pain as the stinger, you didn't realize until too late, but it has like a poison on it, essentially, like a venom that was inside of him, and now you're putting it on like that wound again, essentially. Then the pain is just searing through your body. Who do you want to pass it to, Elise?
Oh, I will pass it to Hulk.
Hulk smash! You can hear me upstairs. I'm doing like a jump, slam repeatedly, basically bashing through the floors, like going through all the. I don't know what the layout of the Salt Lake Temple has turned into since.
It's definitely got.
But I've been inside.
Yeah.
So I smashed through, and I'm trying to go down basically and get to the root of his facility. Like Hulk doesn't know how far that is.
Sure.
But should my action be maybe trying to find them, or do you think I should just smash through until I get somewhere? I don't know. What do I discover as I'm smashing through the floors?
Yeah. Let's make the roll. You smashing through, and we'll sort of go from there here.
Okay, cool. I definitely, unfortunately, am not making the Doom pool any smaller with my action. I'm using Menace at 2d8. I'm gonna use Don't Make Me Angry distinction. Godlike strength.
Gold-legged strength.
Actually, probably durability more than strength. Just like hurling myself down through the floor. It's like at least some of the building is granite. I don't know if the interior is. And then what do I have left? Oh, I'm on a team. Am I? I'm on a team. Okay, let's do it.
Let's rock.
All right, I rolled a 1. My total is in hindsight, I should have done something. Okay, I'm going to use a plot point to add a 2, so my total becomes 13.
Okay. It's a failure. I got a 15. Do you think you can do anything to beat that?
No, it's too late for me to do anything. All right, so I'm just smashing my way through, not finding anything, like bursting into rooms. Maybe they're like flunkies or whatever, people at like computer terminals, and I'm just like, no! I don't know if you can hear me.
Amazing. Yeah. No.
Where's Fisk like smashing, throwing computers, throwing people, doing the Wilhelm scream. Ow!
Yes.
And getting nowhere so far, but you can all like hear it all throughout the building.
Yeah, and like the computers they're at, for the record, just for canon, because there's really no computers, like it's more like security camera kind of stuff, essentially.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there. There's no like internet in this world, at least not in this part of the world.
Hulk obviously doesn't think about that, but Graham is interested.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. So
after that miserable failure.
Yeah, stomping through.
I'm gonna pass it to Kingpin. I want to see what he does.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
No, that's. I was just gonna say you stomp through. Who do you want to pass it
to? We don't have to pass it.
Kingpin. Okay.
Marsha.
And reminder, we can use Powerhouse Eclipse and Human Torch. We can just use them.
You can use them now, yeah. So
add a
they
to our roll by calling on their help.
They are sort of on the fringes outside, but because of the comm link and everything like that, you can sort of ask them to sort of assist you in certain ways and use them for your role. So yeah, they are now available to you to be used. Oh boy, let's see. Okay. The first thing, or rather the thing that, so Kingpin is there. Rogue, you sort of have him by the cape. You feel a just kind of blast of energy, mystical energy sort of blast you out back. As he flips around on you and says, I was told I'd have guests tonight. I didn't expect them to be so cheap. And as he sort of comes at you, you see he's basically... I'll show you what he does after I roll for it here. Let's go ahead and roll me a reaction here, Rogue, to his attack on you.
Yay.
Thanks for the plot point, Sumqui.
Ooh, baby.
I'm gonna die.
All right. As the actor, I got an 18 with a D12 effect.
Oh lordy, I got a 14 with a D10.
All right.
And that was including this goddamn complication.
So he is going to take you by like the back like of your head, sort of grab you by the hair, and you see he just kind of slams you down into the ground. He does not deal physical stress to you, but instead you see one of his rings glows, kind of like a bright white bluish light, and you feel immense cold sort of wash over you, and you find that you are like frozen solid to the ground, and I'm gonna give you a D12 complication here.
Mm-hmm.
That is I don't know, something funny here. Frozen ice.
You're doing great, sweetie.
Stuck ice.
Stuck ice.
Graham, just keep typing. Just keep typing until he stops talking.
Let's just call it
Cold shoulder?
sounds good. I can't think of puns right now. I got other stuff going on.
My brain has nothing. This is why I can do this. It doesn't do anything else.
Amazing. And then I'm going to check one thing here. Sorry, give me 1 sec, my friends. Cool.
Yeah, we really should be relying on some quiz pun talents.
I know, yeah, yes.
Yeah, oh
Some
man,
doing
Sunky, you're back. I need you.
Mm-hmm.
Chilling retort.
Okay.
I like that.
He then takes a ring on the other hand and sort of Rogue, you just catch as it sort of shines. Before he does this, he kind of throws you on the ground, freezes you there. Then you see him sort of like turn his focus and his eyes do like a glow.
Hate that.
And then like as if he's like paying attention to something else. And then you see his other fist sort of kind of turn, and as it turns, that like the ring sort of glows this like black, dark black light, you know, and you know, and as he twists it, you feel like an immense energy sort of leave him, and he is going to pass it now to a few levels down. We see Natasha as she is sort of helping Daredevil try to like overcome this, and we see right behind her that same tail, that scorpion tail that she just kind of pulled out and tossed away, sort of moves ever so slightly.
Fuck.
And as it does, there's a dark black light that comes from behind you as you see Scorpion once again has sort of risen from the grave, if you will. A bit of necromancy of some sort. Not that he was dead, but that he was out of the scene. And as he does, he sort of like comes up, eyes just dark black, emotionless, not really. I mean, mentally, he's not there, but his body is almost being used as like a puppet in this moment.
Fuck. Shit.
And as it does, he lunges forward towards Black Widow here. So, Natasha, I'll need you to roll a reaction.
Yep,
You just got
yep,
gifted a
yep.
plot point. You got gifted a plot point.
By who, I wonder?
By me. I appreciate you. It's a gift.
It's a gift.
Somebody's
Okay.
not able to give them at the moment.
Oh.
Or maybe it's, I know it's on a cooldown, so maybe it's like after a certain amount of time, you can give another one.
There is a slight cooldown. That might be it. I don't know when the
Okay.
last time. You guys who just gave one not too long ago, so yeah. Try again in like 5 minutes.
I'm just
I didn't want it to be
bleeding
too
out.
easy on these guys.
I'm bleeding out asking Natasha if she's got this.
Oh. Alright, I rolled a
God.
1.
Ooh.
Remember, a 1 allows you to lower the doom pool, right?
Oh, if you rolled a 1?
If I roll a 1,
Yeah, you can use it to knock back a die in the doom
knock
pool.
back a die, yeah.
Okay.
If somebody
what
wants to
do
spend
I
a plot
lose
point
if
on
I
it.
do that? Oh, a plot point. Okay.
You have to spend a plot point to
I see.
take the opportunity, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
But that's up to you guys if you want to do it. Anyway,
Yeah.
let's see. I got a
rolled-
14
Okay.
with a d6.
I got a 13 with a D10, and I would like to use a plot point. Is that okay? Can I do that? Or is it's not my turn. I can't.
As the reactor, I don't
Yeah.
think you can.
Damn.
No.
I missed it, sorry.
She can't spend a plot as the reactor. She can't spend a plot point to add to her total. Only
No, you can.
the actor can.
No, you
I
can.
can.
You can? Oh,
Yeah, you can also spend a plot point to have your effect die take place as though you were acting,
right. Yeah.
if you win.
But that's if she succeeds.
Yeah, so you could do both if you have two.
Okay.
I don't know how many plot points you have.
Okay.
So
I
we could
would like
just
to-
essentially we could almost like a contest. We could keep going back and forth, adding dice to our pool.
I just think that the actor has to like declare them and then declare the total, and then it moves to the reactor, the opposition.
Got it.
And then they
Got
have
it.
the chance to do.
Okay.
So it gives the opposition the advantage of knowing what number they have to beat.
Sure. I guess we've been playing it wrong for a while then, because I've been doing. Oh, that's okay. We'll figure it out. Okay. Great. So then you will spend a plot point, Elise?
Yes. So then that brings my total up to 18 with a D10 effect.
Awesome. That is a success.
And then,
D10
Graham, I can
effect.
use another plot point to use my D10 against.
Mhm.
Yes.
I would like to do that. That's
Awesome.
my second plot point.
Okay.
And I would like it to be physical stress, if that's possible. Is that-
Yeah.
is that-
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah,
Okay.
basically, sorry, the way this works is that Scorpion, so Scorpion basically enters as a new GMC. It's like a puppet Scorpion, essentially.
Mhm.
Cool.
And I meant to actually, I need to remove something from my doing pool for that. Hang on. To add a new GMC to the scene, how big is it? It needs to be the same size as the highest die ratings. That would be one of the 10s. Okay. Okay. Got that. So, I'm sorry, Elise. You dealt
Oh, no
physical
worries.
stress of a
Mhm.
D10 to the puppet Scorpion.
Yes.
Puppet Scorpion. Fantastic. And let's see. That's that. Okay. Who do you want to... No, it was my turn. So I will now pass it to the last person available, which is the Goon Squad, still kicking up there. The Goon Squad will enter the building. As they do, they start rushing down the stairs and make their way down to the dungeon area where you all are, Elise and Hollis. And they are going to try to shoot at the injured Daredevil. So go ahead and roll me a resistance here.
Okay. I'm so fucked.
Well, they are like the weakest villain right now, so it's not too much.
Wow.
Okay. All right, here we go, everybody. Well worth the wait. I have a... Oh, shit.
No, sorry. I keep forgetting I'm the actor on these. I'm sorry. I should
Go for it.
first. So
Go for it.
I got a 9 with a D6 effect.
I've got a 9 with a D10 effect.
Yeah.
So that will succeed for me, unless you want to spend a plot point to up it somehow.
I do.
Okay.
I do.
I know that some queer is in the chat being like, I want to give you a plot point.
I know.
I don't know what the limit is.
Sorry, Sumkey. Let me check.
It's almost like we'll have to win this fight on our own merit.
It's almost like
I know.
Sumkey
That can't be
help
right.
you now.
So if I had a plot point, it's a 13 with a D10 effect.
Okay, that will succeed. So,
Hell yeah.
As they start shooting towards the ground, instinctively, I mean, you just sense it, and I mean, you tell me, how does it look as you like dodge these bullets coming at you?
Well, I think for me, since I'm on the ground, I'm literally just like rolling away from them, like bullet by bullet, right? I grab a billy club and maybe I just like dodge the last one and try to shoot it back in their direction.
I love that. You just like snap
Yeah.
one of them across the face. Ah! Amazing. Okay, that is the Goon Squad. Start of the round here, friends. I'm gonna I'm gonna pass it back to Kingpin. And Kingpin. What are you laughing at?
Let Rebecca.
Oh. All right. Kingpin, thinking that your threat is done, Rebecca, moves away from you over, actually, crap, give me 1 second. Okay. We have okay. Cool. Kingpin sort of moves to the other side of the throne room. Again, just casual, calm as a cucumber. Sort of floats to the other side, and you see he, Rogue, you're the only one here witnessing all this, but you see with another ring, he sort of grabs, or sort of like clenches his fist again, and twists, and as he does, Hollis.
What?
You feel yourself, lift a little bit into the air. And float off the ground and just whiz past all these militia in the stairwell. Elise, you watch, Natasha watches as Daredevil's just like carried away by a sort of bluish light, and Matt, you are carried through like corridors and hallways and brought to a throne room, and brought before, and sort of like you know, kind of almost like you're you're pulled in and just sort of like stuck straight up, floating in the air, still in immense pain in your back, in your body, mask off, right? You took your mask off, bloody and beaten. You look and see before you Wilson Fisk, Sorcerer Supreme, a immensely powerful figure who has only gathered more power somehow. And he looks at you. Now let me ask you this, Hollis. In that last fight that Matt had, in fact, you know what? Let's flash back to it for a moment. As Matt comes face to face with Wilson Fisk, you think of the last time that you saw Wilson Fisk.
Yeah.
In a very different position than you do now. We see your past. For you, not so distant, but for this Wilson, very, very distant. As you were beating this man, your fists, broken bones, bloody knuckles, beating the ever-living shit out of him. On the verge of death. Just one more well-placed strike, and you could have ended it.
Yeah.
You hear the calls, the screams even, start to bleed in over the rage inside of you. You realize Karen, tied up next to a crying Foggy, is right here, right there, 10 feet away from you, watching this happen. And they are watching you do this, and you hear her say, she calls you by name. She calls you Matt. Matt!
Yeah.
She says, Matt, don't! And you hold that fist back. And now you're here. And seeing this man with immense power in front of you. What do you think Matt's doing? What do you think he's feeling?
I think I immediately have this trauma response because it is mirroring so heavily the last time that we met. And so I just kind of go into this almost nonverbal state. I'm levitating in the air, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just bleeding. And I just say, I can't.
And as you're saying this, he's bringing you closer.
Yeah.
And you are face
smelling
to face.
him a bit stronger. Yeah, sure.
Smelling him. You are feeling him. He's not the same.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, he's older, he's changed, but more than that, there is a gravity, an aura around him that is just magnetic.
Yeah.
He leans right here, right in front of your face. Matthew Murdoch.
I think
What a gift.
I grab him in the same way that I grabbed Foggy. Right behind the neck. And I finally come to and I say, Wilson, son of a bitch got promoted. And I want to roll to give him a headbutt.
I will let you do that in a moment. I've sort of... Yeah, I was sort of playing this out a little bit. It is still his turn.
Yeah, you son of a
so
bitch.
I'm just gonna let him take his action, and then I'm gonna pass it right to you, and you can take your action. You say that, and as you go to headbutt him, you feel just a resistance as you can't. Go ahead and roll me a reaction here.
My heart is beating so fast.
Ooh, buddy, you okay? Green?
No.
Good?
No, I think I gotta go. Green, yeah, I'm good. Oh, yeah, green, good. Yes, green.
All right.
I haven't unpacked my green yet.
Unpack your adjectives. All right.
All right, I have a 10 with the D10 effect.
Okay, and I have a 16 with a D10 effect and a 1. anybody would like to buy that.
You said a 16?
A 16.
I'm going to meet you there. I'm going to spend a plot point to meet you there, so 16 with a D10 effect.
I will say meeting me won't beat it.
Oh, won't.
You would
Okay,
need
cool.
to have beat it up by 1.
Exceed. Okay, cool. Right on. Then I'll stay where I am.
Okay. As you go to like headbutt him, you see one of his other rings. You are seeing these for the first time, and in fact, you're not even seeing them because you're Daredevil. But he takes one of his rings and just sticks it right into your ribs, like, but not as a punch, just to kind of stick it right there, and then he just twists, and you feel his breath on you as he just shocks you with a lightning blast that just powers through your core. This is going to be, oh boy. I don't know. It could be mental, it could be emotional, it could be physical, it could be any of them. I think this will be emotional. Because your body is numb, and you're Daredevil, and your body is used to getting the shit beat out of it, and that's not new for you. But this twisted world, where this is happening to you right now, is hurting you more than anything.
And I think as I am like shaking with this shock, I have tears streaming down my face, but I'm smiling through it because I know that'll really piss him off.
That's amazing. That's amazing. All right. That's a D10 emotional stress for you, Daredevil.
Okay.
And I will pass it right to you.
All right. So I've been frozen, right? I'm being controlled.
Yeah, sorry. You are levitated, but as you have just witnessed with you trying to reach out and grab him, you can sort of maneuver yourself. It's just that he caught you in time before you were able to do that. You could totally try it again. I didn't mean to steal your thunder there. I just wanted
You
him
didn't
to
steal
get his
anything.
full turn.
No, man. No,
so-
you're telling one hell of a story.
You do what you like now.
All right. Okay, in that case, I want to wrap my legs around his neck and whisper in his ears a little something that I'll tell you here soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sick. All right. Yeah. I'll roll a reaction here.
Okay, cool.
So,
14 with the D10 effect.
damn, these ones. I rolled another one. I do that a lot. A 14, you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am going to spend a Doompool die
Okay.
to go up and beat that. I'll add.
Can I splend? Can I Splenda? Can I
That'll
spend
put
a
me at
plot
a
point
16.
okay, then I'm going to spend a plot point to up mine to a 17 with the D10 effect.
Okay, now that's where I wasn't sure if we're allowed to go back and forth like that.
Oh, okay, cool.
But I don't know.
My bad.
I don't know the. I'm not sure if it works like a contest.
No, if you're acting, then you have to finalize your total before the opposition rolls.
Got you. Cool. In that case, still a 4. Yeah, cool. Still a 14 with D10 effect.
Okay, so he succeeds against you on this. As you wrap your legs around him and lean in to say your cool thing, which I don't say it because you can save it for later. You like kind of wrap your legs, and he just kind of whips you off of him, spins you, and just smacks you against the wall where you are sort of still levitating, still kind of there, not paralyzed by any means, just sort of, he's just keeping you where he wants you is all. good try, but I had a high doom pool. I need to use it. So, who do you want to pass it to?
I'm going to pass it to Black Widow.
Okay, so where I am, a goon has just entered my premises.
Yeah, there's about 5 or 6 goons.
5 goons.
They are represented, Elise, by 1d6 mob.
Okay, so there's that, and then there's the scorpion puppet, correct?
Yes, scorpion puppet scorpion is still behind you.
I just watched Daredevil float up the stairs.
Yes,
All
you did.
once?
A glowing blue light whipped him up the stairs.
Okay, so first I'm gonna get on the comm link and say, anybody have eyes on Daredevil? He's been taken. Yeah, anybody got eyes on Daredevil? There's that, because I don't. And then
You just hear Hulk going, "Man, smash!"
Yeah, you hear Hulk through your comm, and also like down the hall, saying this. Like he's not far from you.
There's like a 1 second delay.
Amazing. And then I'll also say I could use some help in here, as I shoot another electric blast at Scorpion. Puppet Scorpion guy.
Awesome. All right, so Scorpion will roll a reaction here.
Okay. I rolled a 10 with a D10 effect.
Okay. I got a 12 with a D10 effect.
Okay.
So, you what were you trying to do exactly? Like
Shoot an electric blast
okay.
at him.
So yeah. You do, and it hits, and it kind of just like shocks his body, but it doesn't seem to change. It's like almost like shooting a zombie in the chest, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's just not gonna, doesn't matter.
Oh, boy.
So that sucks. Who do you want to pass it to?
Yep. Okay, I'll pass it to Hulk since I heard him.
Okay. Yeah, I love that.
Okay, I'm smashing through rooms. What do you want me to do? Oh, here's what I'm gonna do, Justin. Hulk, in his fury, has kind of lost sight of the precision of the mission. Like he remembers vaguely that there was something we were supposed to do here, but he's just mad and he's yelling, Fisk, smash! And I'm like now getting down into the lower levels of the building. I'm gonna start finding all of the support pillars. My intent is to crash this building down.
Oh yeah, baby. That's fantastic.
Sorry, Mormons, and
I know.
I will...
Sorry. Just a quick PSA here to Mormons. Thank you, and sorry about it. We
do not endorse smashing your religious sites.
It was already changed,
wonderful sanctuary. But yeah, it was already changed a while back. So you know.
So I'm gonna spend a plot point to add both my godlike strength and godlike durability. So I'm rolling 2d12s plus distinction team.
Sick.
And my menace expertise.
Awesome.
Okay. Could have been better.
This is against the Doom Pool, which only has 3 dice in it at the moment.
Okay. And I think what I'm going to try to do if I succeed is make it a complication for Fisk.
I love that.
Yeah, call it like I'll think of something.
Sure.
Some Mormon pun. And then so my total I'm gonna spend a plot point, my second plot point, to add a 5. So my total is now 21 with a D12 effect.
A D12 effect.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that is wild. 21. That is a heroic success. That's wild. That's phenomenal. I can't even do anything about it because I don't have any extra dice to throw in. It is the Doom Pool.
Yeah, I mean, you could make an argument that I'm rolling it against Kingpin.
That's
you know what
true.
I mean? Because I'm putting a complication on
It
him,
is a
and then he
complication
could
on
use the
Kingpin.
doom pool.
Okay, let me, just for the sake of, you know, making it a somewhat competitive roll here, let me do that. So, give me 1 second. Okay. Okay, well that is better. So my roll itself is a 19, but I will... Yeah, that's a D12 complication. Woof. Ooh, but I don't want to lower the doom pool that much.
Come on, baby.
All right, I'm gonna let you have it, but it's not a heroic success, so it won't knock beyond 12.
Great. Okay. I'm gonna call it. Trying to think of something that's not too long. The weight of sin.
Oh my god.
And there's like now basically the whole. What floor is he on?
He's on like the main floor, basically.
Okay.
The
So
ground
he's in.
floor.
Yeah, he's in his sort of like throne room. Is that right?
Yeah, like this is like the main.
The ceiling crashes down, and if you know, basically my intent is that it like hits him square on in the body and either pins him or at least.
Sure.
Yeah, because I'm not doing physical stress. I'm making a complication.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So you all feel the ground, the foundation, everything about this place just start to quake. Certain parts of the floor start caving in on every level. Elise, you actually see a large section of your like kind of tighter corridor break down and actually cut you off from Billy behind you. So he is now like sort of trapped in behind debris. And sure enough, in the main throne room, Daredevil and Rogue both watch as a huge section of this like massive sort of steeple just kind of breaks free and just comes crashing down into Kingpin, who just disappears beneath the rubble. Amazing. Graham, who are you passing?
So that does unlock 3 XP trigger for my milestone, which is to smash a building or monument to create a complication for those who will not leave you alone.
Oh, that's so great.
Yay. And so then I'll pass it to... Should I pass it to a villain or should I pass it to my friends? I'll pass it to Rogue.
Checkmate, Kingpin. I like that, Sumkey. That's good.
Right. So was Rogue in the throne room area frozen to the floor? Or was she outside?
She is in the throne room there. Debris crashing all around you. Hey, Scurvy Nave, thanks for the sub. Appreciate you.
Yay!
No!
Rogue, you, yes, that's what you have.
Okay, cool. So, when the literal roof comes down, I would like to utilize Human Torch to assist me because I'm frozen to the floor.
Yes.
So I will add that D8, and so I think when the ceiling collapses, Johnny comes over to check it out and see what's going on.
Yeah.
And
Johnny swoops in, just like, sup, babe. I knew you'd call me eventually.
I think you're starting to warm up to me.
Starting to warm up to me, yeah.
Totally nailing that.
And just helps I think melting the ice. So I'm gonna use this turn to would I be using this turn to get rid of that
yeah, it's interesting.
obstacle
With complications.
God,
I mean, complications and assets, with our sort of Cortex Prime-esque rules, are basically meant to last until the end of an action scene, but I also think that they can go away if, if you take an action against them. Does that make sense, Graham?
Yeah, you can knock them back if you roll a higher effect die than the complication.
Okay. So,
but also, Justin, as the watcher, can also just sort of decide that it's gone, like if the circumstances don't make sense for it anymore.
Right.
Well, he hasn't been very nice tonight, so I'm not going to hold my breath for that.
Dude, mess him up. Mess him up.
It depends on how you're going to roll here. So why don't you go ahead and roll.
Okay,
Add
so...
a D8 for Johnny to help you. And let's see if you succeed on this.
All right, and so the way I'm building my pool is that Johnny is melting the ice and Rogue's using her strength to just break free of it. So...
awesome. Makes sense.
Oh, and I did my 2-4 instead of my 8 for a plot point.
Okay.
Because I'm out. All right, and that is...
And I'm going to have this roll be against Kingpin since this is sort of his magical effect on you.
Okay.
And
that...
I will add your D10 to it.
This is a bad day. Okay. So that's 2 1s.
Ooh. I also rolled 2 1s.
Hey, twinsies! Let's just not do anything with them.
You don't want me to give you plot points?
Wait, no, give me plot points.
I will give you 2 plot points.
All right.
2.
I'm gonna.
That's
do
what
we
I get
already
for complaining.
decide that your cold shoulder complication is gone or no?
I think that's what
it
we're
depends
rolling
on if
against
she
right now.
succeeds here.
Oh, okay, got it.
Elisa Lynn, talk about an icebreaker. I like that. And so that's a 16 with a D10.
Okay. I got an 18.
See, I told you he was being mean tonight.
With a D12.
And I can't use anything to...
No.
Okay.
Because you're the actor. So, yeah.
Right.
So, essentially, how that works, I think I'm starting to understand it a little bit better, is that you need to decide before you tell me whether or not you want to spend a plot point to try and get that number higher.
Okay.
Essentially.
So, I think what's going on is they are in the process of getting her out, but she is not out yet. That might take another turn.
Right. So, just as Johnny comes in and is like, you got the hots for me, babe, or whatever he says, and as he, like, goes to, sort of, start to melt some of that ice away on you, Kingpin, uses...
I'm getting real sick of this guy.
Kingpin, uses yet another ring. This one's a blinding white light, and Johnny just hey, where'd you go? Just cannot see you to try and help you. Let's see.
So close to being useful.
Okay, that was your turn, Rebecca. Who to pass it to now?
I'm gonna pass it to. You know, we haven't used the. I'm gonna pass it to a villain. Let's do Goon Squad.
Goon Squad. Goon Squad is down there with Natasha. They are utterly useless, honestly, but they are going to try to apprehend you, Natasha, as they sort of circle around you. Go ahead and roll a reaction here. Okay, I rolled another 1. So this is going to be an this is going to be an 8 with a D4 effect.
Okay, I have a 17 with a D8 effect.
Awesome. Now, do you have a plot point to spend to...
I do not.
Dang. Okay. So you easily evade them. However, you can't quite seem to get the upper hand to just knock them out. So they are still in. And we'll toss it over to the puppet Scorpion, who is who kind of does like a off the wall pounce and kind of tries to like tackle you, go for your throat essentially. So no, Siri, get out of here. So go ahead, if you would, Elise, and
Yes.
roll another reaction for me.
All right.
I know. Let me check one thing here before we go any further. Okay. Just so it's clear, I have updated it to where you can't, there's still a 2-minute cooldown on plot points, but for the moment there are no more limitations on how many a user can give per stream. So just know that I lost a die and I don't know which one it was, so I'm just gonna let that go. Okay, here comes Scorpion. We have a... This is gonna be a 12 with a D8 effect.
All right, I've got a 15 with a D10 effect.
Awesome.
Ooh.
You succeed as he pounces towards you. You maybe do like a off the wall backflip, you know?
Yeah.
And land right there, and he like smacks into two military instead. You are just perfectly evading all of these attacks on you. I will now go ahead and pass it to you. Elise, it is your turn.
Okay, so I backflip up while he's in front of me. Since that electric blast bounced off of him before, I think I'll just try and like charge him from behind and take him out, take his legs out, like slide underneath, take his legs out. Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Awesome. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. I did roll a 1.
Okay.
That's there. And then my
I
roll.
will pay you a plot
You'll
point for the
purchase
one.
it? Great.
Yeah.
And then my roll is, well, I can use that plot point right now, correct? Or incorrect?
Yes.
Okay,
Maybe?
to add to my
Yeah.
roll before I tell it to you.
No?
Yeah. As long. Did Justin just roll the 1?
She
I rolled the 1.
rolled the
but he
one.
got
I
it.
paid her for it right now.
Yes.
Can she use that plot point in this same?
I don't see why
roll?
not. I think that's fine.
Sweet.
House rule, baby. Let's go.
All right. So then my total will be a 14 with a D10 effect.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. I can't beat that. Even if I added die from the Doom Pool. Yeah, you caught Scorpion on a real shitty roll here. So, talk to me about, describe for me again what happens here.
Okay,
I see.
so I just backflipped off the wall. He's in front of me, but his back is to me.
Yes.
Then I come sliding in between his legs,
Uh-huh.
turn myself around, take him out, and he's on the ground, prone. I hop up and just kind of stomp him. Yeah.
Amazing. So he is, what effect do you want that to have? He is currently at a D10.
Yeah, I would like it to be
physical
physical stress.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah. So that'll pop him up to a D12. And he is on the verge of being out once again. How many times you gotta kill this guy? That sounds right, Slumkey. You should definitely give me all the plot points just for unlocking that for you. You're
You
welcome.
traitor.
Who you passing to, Elise?
Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna pass it. Well, first, oh, no. What was I gonna say? I forgot. Oh, nope, never mind. I'm gonna pass it to Daredevil because that's who I'm thinking about because that's the only person that I know
Amazing.
physically is in this building. I mean, I could hear Hulk, but I know he's.
Sure.
So, yeah, I'll say this. The magical effects on both Rogue and Daredevil, for the sake of flavoring a narrative here, have sort of, like, are, fading or whatever just a little bit when Kingpin got hit.
Yeah.
He is kind of buried in rubble at the moment, what would you like to do?
I think I immediately go to Rogue and see if she's all right. And by immediately, I mean I kind of am just limping over to her, just, holding on to my stomach. I don't have anything on my back. I'm still bleeding. But I'm just like, I'm sorry, Rogue, all consent, I hope. I'm feeling your face. I'm just making sure that you're all right.
Sure. So Hollis, let's continue with you for a moment here.
Yeah.
We lost one of our camera feeds, but as Rebecca tries to get that back for us, go ahead. Let's focus on you for a second, Hollis. So, what are you just trying to sort of like break her free from this complication or something, or?
I'm just trying to make sure that she's still alive.
Yeah.
But like in sensing that she's in really bad shape, I turn to the rubble and I'm going to like uncover him because I know there's no way he's dead.
Amazing. Yeah. So you sort of like stumble over there. You see she's still alive. She's still kicking. Johnny is sort of up here, and he's just sort of like rubbing his eyes. They're like in pain. You turn back. You see this mound of rubble.
Yeah.
And you see one of Kingpin's sort of like arms is sort of like not sticking out necessarily, but just sort of laying in it. So you could like interact with him somehow if you need to.
In that case, I'm going to use my grapple. I'm going to shoot it to his hand. I'm going to pull him out of the rubble.
Amazing. You do so. You sort of, and it is a pull. It's not just like easy. It is a heft. And as you do, you sort of, you kind of see he bursts out of some rubble and just kind of laying on the ground. For the moment, he looks pretty rocked mentally. Rocked.
Sorry, it's a good pun.
What do you do next?
I want to put my foot on his head. Or no, on his neck. Screw it. Let's make it the neck. I hate this guy. And I want to press down. I want to break his neck. That's what I want to do.
Make the roll.
Okay. Oh, okay. 18 with a D10 effect.
Now, if Justin allows it, you could use your effect die to step up the complication.
Yeah.
Meaning, but I don't know. It sounds like with your description of breaking his neck, maybe that's more physical stress. That's up to you all.
I mean, I don't know. I like the idea, specifically the complication being the weight of sin, all of this kind of crashing down upon him. It's really up to you, Hollis. But if you are looking to sort of stress him out of the scene, this would be, that would be sort of a way to do it.
I mean, this is technically still bearing weight down on him, so yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I got a 12. What was your total?
Okay. That's a 18 with a D10 effect.
Yeah. I think you succeed on this one.
Hell yeah. All right. Then as my foot is just like resting on his neck, I lean down and I say, "I'll kill you in every world, motherfucker." And crunch.
And as you do, you feel you crunch down. You feel the snap. You feel a magical energy just blast out. All the windows shattered. The already rocking foundation of this place completely starts to just collapse at this point. And you see the limp body of Wilson Fisk in front of you with all of these magical artifacts these rings, that Eye of Agamotto, this cloak that is just stuck beneath his body. And you feel the magical energy on all of them just sort of release. There's almost like a sigh in the room. Now, I don't know if this is how the game works, but for the sake of our stream, I'm going to say that that is the end of the action scene. Because when that magical effect happens, the puppet scorpion falls into a pile.
Dope.
And, you know, there's no really point here in having Black Widow fight a bunch of goon squad here. You can easily get out of that. So, as this castle crumbles around you, we're gonna go to a break, and when we come back, we will see sort of the aftermath of this decision by one Matt Murdock. So stick around, folks. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. See you then.
Yay.
Hello, we are back. Welcome back. Hope you had a nice time going to the restroom, getting some water. But leave all that behind you now, because it's time to get for realsies. So, we find the group through in sort of the dust and decay of the castle. There has been a collapse and chaos following. People among the streets, you hear everything from screams of fear, of loss, to shouts of joy and revolt. There are still militia out and about, unsure whether they are meant to continue enforcing the Kingpin's rule, or if they should drop their weapons, or if people are going to hurt them if they do. I mean, there's just it's a chaotic moment here, and in that moment, I'm going to just ask each of you where we find you. I will add little bits of insight here and there, but why don't we start with Hulk? You were deep down.
Yeah.
Where's Hulk now?
I think Banner wakes up the way he is used to. Hold on, let me switch back to Banner.
Oh, there you are. Thanks. Hey, Bruce.
With some rubble all around. There's like a Hulk-sized kind of silhouette around him of where the rubble was like bounced away, and so now he's smaller and he's like inside it. And he kind of worms his way out. I don't know how much later it is. Like, I'd like to think the rest of the team is kind of gathered up elsewhere.
Yeah.
And I'm now like standing shirtless in this smoking detritus, looking around at all the activity in the city, and maybe there's like searchlights and stuff. And I'm just scanning for my friends.
Absolutely. As you come out, I mean, you see all this through like sort of the thick haze of just dust. I mean, just dirt and just detritus that is in the air from all of this. There are sort of those like street lights that are sort of illuminating a bit for you and helping you figure it out, but somebody just runs past back into like sort of the fog, the mist. You sort of start feeling your way around and end up running into Black Widow.
Natasha.
Bruce.
I can't tell if this is a good or a bad end state. How did things go?
It was a little messy, but I'm not quite sure. I haven't seen the rest of them.
You okay? Are you hurt?
I'm fine.
Good. Who's not? You said you're fine.
Daredevil was impaled by Scorpion.
Oh, that's not good.
And then Scorpion was visibly, I can only describe it as possessed. But as soon as everything came crashing down, it stopped.
Yeah. Guess that happens. Okay, I'm with you. Leave me where we need to go.
Right.
And I'll actually be like pulling out. Maybe I've got like a fanny pack where I've got. I don't know. Maybe this is too much for it to have survived. But I'll just say I need to get to my med kit if we're gonna help him.
Yeah. I'm guessing he is wherever Kingpin is.
So the two of you start trying to find your way to Kingpin, to Daredevil, wherever that might be. Meanwhile, elsewhere in the fog, in the sort of chaos, we find Rogue. Rogue, you are with Johnny. He's there with you. and his eyes are kind of coming to, but it's all still foggy and everything. So what do you think you're doing?
Am I still frozen?
You're not still frozen. You have broken free. I mean, you're a little cold.
Mm-hmm.
But no, you're not frozen.
All right. Well, I think she's just gonna say, sorry, I'm really distracted. I think she's gonna, she's just gonna say, you know, well, that's one way to wrap it up, and she's going to look to Johnny, and she's gonna say, power down your hand a little bit, and she's gonna start trying to guide him towards Daredevil.
Yeah, and I think Johnny has flamed off at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then she just like takes his arm and she's guiding him towards Daredevil. And she's gonna.
I can see now. It's cool.
Oh, great! She's gonna let him go.
But sort of like takes her arm. He's like, but hey, that's cool too. You two, along with Widow and Hulk, are all sort of trying to find your way into the center of this chaos. Hollis, where do we find Matt?
I think I've collapsed, my head resting on Fisk's chest.
Yeah.
And I'm just, halfway between laughing and crying because I've done the thing that I promised not to do, which was like mortally hurt someone. And so I'm just, again, trauma response saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
You all find Matt here in this moment. You see him, his intense wounds, the tears and blood streaming down his face, and a very dead Wilson Fisk. Still adorning magical items that don't seem to have magical effects engaged.
I would like to approach, and I mean, I hear him, I see him, just kind of hold his face while I try to gently move him off of Kingpin's body, if I can, if it doesn't hurt him.
Yeah, you can do so. I mean, and
okay,
Matt. I mean, you allow this. So it's just sort of or do you fight that?
I think I do hold on to him for a second, right, before finally releasing my grasp.
Yeah, and then I kind of have him. I'm kneeling, and he's in my lap, and just letting him have that moment.
Sure. While he's in your lap, you do also look to Kingpin. You do see the Eye of Agamotto, and it sort of clocks with you that Billy is still down there, trapped in that cell, and he did say that the eye was sort of the way to break him free.
Yep. I'm gonna say the eye, we need to get it to Billy. Just out loud.
I think with that, Rogue's gonna go over and take it off. And, does anyone want to come with? Rogue was intending to fly. Well, I guess I might need Black Widow to show me where to go.
Oh, yeah.
So
I'll stay with Daredevil.
Yep.
Yeah.
So she's gonna say on it, and she's gonna kind of take you under, pick you up and fly off with you in the cape to go find Billy and help you dig him out.
Yep.
As you two go off to do that, Bruce, you and maybe Johnny goes with you guys as well. So Bruce, you're just here with Matt. Before we cut away, is there anything either of you say to each other in this moment? Do for each other anything?
I think at first I'm just silently looking over your wounds, not really asking, doing the field medic sort of thing, but I don't have any equipment, so I'm just sort of assessing. And then after awkward silence, I'll say, so this got taken pretty far, I guess.
Yeah. And then I think wiping my tears away and finally coming back down to earth, I turn to Bruce and say, do you ever feel like you can't stop?
Yeah, I mean, usually by the time I get to that point, I'm not feeling much at all. And I'll nod up at all of the destruction. You know, sometimes it's like a flip switching, but there are times where you feel it build, and actually letting go becomes kind of the soothing mechanism. The wildness, the freedom of it is what makes you feel better.
I've done nothing but let myself go in our world. And I know I can help these people, but I can't keep going about it this way. I'll tell you what, I'll look out for you if you do the same for me. I know I can't do it alone.
Yeah, I'll look out for you. I am, I don't know how this all went down. But it looks like I got pretty carried away too. Anyway, don't hold on to it.
Put my hand on his shoulder, I squeeze it, and that's about as much physical affection as I'm like capable of giving.
Yeah, he like almost immediately I break away.
As you have that moment, just as Bruce breaks away, we cut away and we find ourselves in a very different scene. The dust has cleared. It is no longer night. It is the next morning. It is hot, as it always is, even at night. But the sun is in the sky. It's bright once more. And we find you all back at Veronica's safe house, where Kurt Wagner and Veronica, Lunella, Danny, and Johnny are all sort of there with the four of you and Billy Kaplan, whom you did rescue. You've all gotten a little bit of rest. This is a transition scene, so everyone go ahead and step back your stress levels just by one.
Everyone.
AKA.
That is
Everyone, aka Matt.
Hollis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet boy.
It hurts so much.
We find you all here. You've gotten a couple hours of rest. I say the next morning. It's really like the next afternoon, as you have slept for however long you needed to, or rested, or whatever that looks like for your character. As we find you in this moment here, Kurt has gathered you all back together again. I can't tell you how grateful I am to all of you. Billy is more than just a leader to us. He is family. And for you to do what you did, it is I cannot repay you enough. Furthermore, knowing that the Kingpin's rule is done, this is another gift. I don't know why you're here, and I may never know, but I have faith that you are not done. He sort of sits down. Lunella says, right, well, we've got Billy back, which is fantastic. Once he's up and about, he should be able to give us some answers as far as if he's able to power everything, for the Nexus Gate and all that. I'll be honest, he doesn't seem to be up to it right now. So, but hey, you've got some time, right? There's some other stuff we really need to go find anyway. And by we, I mean you. So anyway, where are you heading to now?
That's a great question. How about we pull up that map there and take a look? See. So the idea. So the two closest places it looks like are. I have too many unimportant
the
notes.
big map here.
Yeah.
So Fisk Lake City, I'll remind you, is in sort of the middle of the Savage Frontier, where you might find Salt Lake City. Nearest you at the moment, in towards the southwest, you have Sin City, where I'll remind you, they have a scout on their team, Ruby Summers, who is in that area, and you think there might be a lead on getting adamantium, which is one of the 3 ingredients or materials that you need. There's also Aim Island, over where San Francisco once was, where you know there might be a lead to get PIM particles. Down in the Hulklands, there's also opportunity for PIM particles. And then there's also way up northwest at the hub, which is another opportunity for adamantium. So 2 opportunities for adamantium and 2 opportunities for PIM particles in your vicinity. And that's not even including the Doomwood or the United States of Osborne, which also sort of have other places to explore. So
these villains and their town names, so much ego. I don't know. In my opinion, I kind of feel like maybe we should go for Aim Island, or Sin City. You know, either go where there's somebody who can help us, or go where maybe, because Aim Island is just like, it's just like sunk, right? Like it's just like.
Yeah.
What's its status?
Well, yeah. As Rogue is sort of talking about that, Danny kind of chimes in. Yeah, it's like so San Francisco and honestly a lot of the sort of coast of California started sinking, and San Francisco, you know, like there was that like really big bridge there. It sort of goes underwater now a little bit. That's so like most of San Francisco's underwater, but like there's a part of it that used to be like a mountain that is now sort of an island. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Starting to.
Yeah. So in that case, I mean, my one concern with maybe going to Aim Island is that it's surrounded by like water, and the labs might be underwater. And as far as I know, none of us are particularly, you know, adapted to that. So maybe Sin City.
I think it's a good place to look at. I mean, I've been thinking about this since we took down Fisk, and it seems like inevitably we're going to have to move toward Ground Zero if we're going to get any answers about how this happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But maybe we can work ourselves up to it. You know, hit the close places first.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab my wound and say that's about as far as I think I can go right now anyway.
Lunella chimes in as well and says, and it just so happens we also have a scout there. I don't know if you remember me telling you, but Ruby Summers is out in Sin City, and
that's good. Stay in the network, you know, people that we've been connected to so far.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it sounds like that's settled. What do we need to do to prepare?
So you take some time here to get to it, to sort of gather some belongings, prep yourselves for the journey to Sin City. I'm gonna sort of pass this off to you guys, knowing that this is your last time with Kurt and with Danny and Lunella and Billy for the time being. If there's any scenes or moments you want to have with them. Now, I want to say this too. This is the end of our first act. And, you know, off camera, we can kind of discuss how you guys want to use your milestones. And first thing next week, we can sort of share that with the audience. I say milestones, but I mean XP.
Mhm.
So you can spend your XP to do things like gaining an ally for the adventure, gaining new equipment, gaining a lot of different things, honestly. So if, you know, one of you may choose to have one of these people sort of join you on the journey, or, you know, take some of that gear that you've found anywhere in Fisk Lake City so far, whether it's like the Wrecking Crew's enchanted weapons, or you know, Mandarin's rings that Kingpin clearly had.
That's
Or-
definitely something I was going to ask
that
about.
sounds really fun.
I mean, yeah, and we can sort of, you know, figure out how that gear might work for your character, and discuss that. But you know, just things to think about. But just keep that in mind. That being said, does anybody have a specific scene they want to do? And if not, that's okay. We can sort of chalk it up to, like, you know, you guys said your goodbyes and we move on. It may not be the last time you see these characters. I mean, they may show up again in this wasteland. But it is sort of goodbye for now, at the very least. So, and it's okay if not. I'm just giving you
I think I've got to say goodbye to Danny.
Yeah. Danny, I think actually finds you, Matt. As everybody's sort of packing up, finding their own space and whatnot, you know, getting supplies, getting food, Danny finds you, and she hands you your mask, your Daredevil mask. And she says, "Hey, I found this in the rubble back there, and I don't know why I held onto it so long. I just I don't know. I thought it was cool. I didn't put it on or anything though, so you know."
Do you want to?
Okay, I did try, but it didn't fit because I have a really big head.
I thought you might have Powerhouse.
Yeah. Anyway.
Did you hear what happened?
I mean,
What I did.
you mean killing him?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Is that not normal?
The viciousness is, but no, not killing. You know, I thought for a second about inviting you along with us, but I don't think right now I've earned the right to be that influence on you. So I need you to stay here and take care of them, okay?
Wait, but I could come with you. I mean,
I need you to stay. I need you to stay here and take care of them.
Fine.
And I'm gonna just like kind of close her hand, the one that's holding the mask, over the mask, squeezing it a bit tighter. I'm gonna say, hang on to that for me. I'll be back for it.
Okay.
And again, bookending the neck grab, pull her in forehead to forehead, and pat her on the back and walk away.
Cool. Rogue.
I think for Rogue, she's, you know, gonna sit next to Nightcrawler and she's gonna say, you know, well, it looks like it's time to start heating up the bricks again. I know I told you that, you know, I wanted you to stay out of that fight and everything, but I think it'd be wrong of me not to ask you, as a sibling, do you want to come with us?
If you would have been here even 5 years ago, absolutely. But now, I know that I'm not their leader, but this is where I live. This is where I stay, and you have given me the chance to help rebuild something better than there was. A safe haven, a refuge. I could only have dreamed of something like that. So, no.
Yeah, you're gonna have to rebuild yourself a new church, though.
Well, that hasn't been
For
a
you and your
church for quite some time.
Well, I'm glad you said that, but I am gonna miss you. We'll see each other again. Just mind that tail of yours, you old elf. And she's just like gonna scruff up his head like they're younger.
And you scruff up his head, and he just pulls you in and just holds you and just doesn't let go. Not for a while.
I think she just whispers in his ear, I'll murder you if you get yourself killed while I'm gone.
I know. And with that, now, because Kelsey's not here, I will give her the opportunity at the beginning of the next, to maybe have like a brief moment with Veronica, just because she did sort of plant that seed. And so yeah. I think we'll jump back to that when necessary. But I think with that, you all head out of Fisk Lake City. Lunella leads you back, this time not under the wall, but rather through the doors that have been sort of barred shut. Now there are like large doors that for like caravans and stuff to get through. Those stay closed, but there is like a smaller sort of just person-sized door. She leads you through, and it locks behind you. You see from around the side of the wall, the happy devil dinosaur approaches Lunella. She embraces him, and she says, okay, well, I can take you a couple miles in the right direction before, honestly, I need to head back. So, let's go. And with that, you all begin heading south, through the desert. And with that, I need one of you. I think Rebecca did it last time, if I remember correctly. I need one of the other three of you to roll me a d4. Who's doing it? Let's say Graham.
Okay. 2.
2. Okay, thank you.
2 PCs die.
Yeah, sorry guys, you die. That sucks, dude. Okay. You travel and get to the point where Lunella turns back, says her goodbyes, turns back. You continue down the road. I think maybe for the sake of it, let's say maybe they gave you some horses. For those of you who can't fly or don't want to. So, I mean, it's up to you if you want to ride a horse instead of fly.
Hey, I am always down to ride a horse.
Plus, I mean, it's less exhausting probably. So yeah, I think you were given 5 horses as
cool.
You sort of travel southwest there. It's Bruce who notices first as your horse, the sand, the noisy sand, not noisy, I'm sorry, the the silent sand beneath your horse's hooves, even on like sort of like there's bits where you're still on concrete, sort of Highway 66-esque road, abandoned highway kind of thing, and then there's parts where you're just truly in desert, in sand. There's a part where the sand feels solid and then starts almost clip-clopping against the hooves of the horse. And you look down, there's no road there, but as you start to look down, and the rest of you start to notice as well, glass covers the whole area you are in. It's like a large circular, large, almost like a crater, but not caved in, rather just smooth, shiny, glistening glass. There are moments where the glass is it's not necessarily smooth, I guess, maybe that's the wrong word for it, but it is like sleek, but there are times where it's like sort of crags, sort of jutting off and things like that. As you continue forward, unsure of what you're really looking at, you see it's sort of maybe the epicenter of this glass. You see a figure, a glass person, but only like from the torso up, almost like a bust, like a statue. Two arms sort of, up in the air like this, almost like one elbow sort of like in the ground, the torso sort of jutting out of the ground, and just a face that has like a mouth wide open. Just glass, just frozen, just like not. I mean, it's almost like a someone what is it called? Glass sculpture. Chiseled it. Thank you.
Chiseled it. Chisel glass.
What'd you say?
I said, wait, I don't know if you can chisel glass.
Yeah, I don't know what you do with glass, but blow it, I guess. It's almost like a glass sculpture here in the center of this.
Like, am I getting like a Pompeii vibe?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Very similar.
Oh, hell no. Wait, I have a suspicion. Do we recognize this?
Or
is it too far away?
Bruce. Anybody who I don't want to make.
Yeah, I mean, I'll approach. I'll spur Stumpy, my
Give it
horse,
to
up
Brucey.
to
Bruce, being the scientist you are, and sort of looking around you and looking at the way that the glass sort of has interacted with the sand from like sort of the onset of it when you first noticed. It almost, you remember, I mean, not remember, but that, when like, it's almost like lightning striking sand and turning it into glass.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this was sand and it no longer is.
There's something really hot, probably detonated or combusted here.
Yeah.
And I'll like we're in cowboy genre, so I like get off the horse, kind of like hold the reins and lead it up, and I'm gonna get close.
And you get close and see the perfect pristine condition, but see the torment on this person's face, and you realize that, I mean, this was a person. This was it hits you in the moment. This was a person made of sand who was killed and turned into glass. And as you have that recognition, I mean, I don't know that there's much you can do. in the situation. You just
No, I think that Bruce is like for a second looking at the face, thinking hard, and then does a quick turn away, giving the impression that like he's not willing to go too far down the road of, you know, helping this world, trying to avert this disaster.
Right.
At least not yet.
Amazing. Well, as you deal with that, you get back on your horse, and you all keep riding. Down to a new, still the same region, I suppose. You're still in the Savage Frontier. It's still that sort of hot, hazy desert. But you do find yourselves sort of on the outskirts of another large city. You see that not too far away, and it's sort of nighttime when you're rolling up on it, but you see if Fisk Lake City was sort of this like there weren't any like skyscrapers there, you know, there weren't any like huge buildings. It was really the castle and that wall around the castle that was like the real main building blocks of that city. However, as you approach this new city, it couldn't be more different. There's no wall. There's no people. It is an abandoned ghost town of a city. You recognize the Strip. I mean, you see it as you approach. You see the broken, like once flashy signs of Las Vegas. You see these towering skyscrapers that used to be full of, you know, thousands and thousands of people, and now are vacant. Not just vacant, destroyed. This place looks completely deserted, completely abandoned, and yet there is something so eerie about it. As you approach, as you start to get into the city itself, with these tall, like somewhat destroyed buildings towering above you, you can't help but feel like you're being watched. And as you approach some of the tallest buildings, Rogue, you see at the corner of your eye, up ahead, someone is just standing and looking down at you from a rooftop that's maybe about 30 feet tall or so. They're not too far away, but, you know, probably just out of, like, sort of shouting distance. But you clock them. You see them, and you see they're just sort of standing there looking at you.
She sees this and she, like, she just gestures towards the person with her finger, and she tells the others, looks like we're not alone.
As you say that, Rogue, that figure, something sort of illuminates on their body, on their person. And Rogue, I think you recognize it. I think you, even from this far away, there is a specific glow that you are so familiar with that belongs to Remy. when he charges an item up.
Ah.
When he fills it with his specific energy, it glows this brilliant purple color. And that's exactly what you see from this far away on that building 30 feet up in the air, whatever. What do you do?
I think at first she's like, her face gets really excited and she just whispers, Gambit. And then like seeing the charge up, she like her face slowly starts to turn into like, oh shit. And she's gonna turn to the others and she's gonna say, get to cover. And she's gonna, right before she flies off towards whatever it is.
You say that, get to cover, you dart off, flying toward Gambit. The card never flies. The whatever he had never leaves his person. You get close enough, you see, you sort of are hovering maybe 10 feet above the roof where he's at. You look down, it's Remy. But as he looks up at you and says, hey, Cher, pleasure seeing you again. You see his eyes, and they are not Remy's eyes. They're just different. They're human eyes. They're not black. They're not like possessed. They're just not his eyes. And he looks up at you, and you see on the besides his eyes being different, the only other thing that feels different, that looks different, with his eyes is, sorry, not with his eyes, but with his person, is just right here. The smallest red diamond on his forehead. And he says, why don't you come give him a kiss, love? And he, at that moment, flings something at you that explodes. And with that, we will end tonight's session.
God damn! I'm gonna kick his ass.
Welcome to Sin City, everybody.
Woo!
Wow. Woo! You can tell Gambit's possessed because his eyes are not
normal.
black.
That's true.
What
I didn't
better
think
way?
about that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, why are his eyes black? What the hell?
It's
just how they animated him.
Yeah, he's got like black. What is it? It's
Yeah.
not. Is it
Irises?
irises? What's the?
His pupils
Oh.
I think are like red, but
Yeah,
the
his
white
pupils
is
are
black.
red. Yeah, the sclera. Is that what's called?
That makes yeah.
Well,
Yeah, so they're black
think
with
you're
red
right.
pupils.
This is
and
part of
it's
his mutation,
Super
I think.
hot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
super hot.
Super hot.
Well,
Again, can I change my crush again?
I know. Oh God, him too.
I know.
Man.
I went
that
from
X-Men
one
animated series.
difficult voice in Kurt to another difficult voice in
You're
Remy,
nailing it.
and I don't know why I'm doing this to myself.
Thank you so much,
I
Justin.
could have easily had him just not being able to talk.
Yeah.
But you did it.
No, that didn't seem as fun. All right. Well, guys, that is tonight's episode. We will be back next week, same time, and with episode 4. Kelsea will be back with us then, and we will tell you all some new things that these guys will have had after. This is the end of our first act, so they will get some upgrades, and we'll share them with you then. If you have any suggestions for upgrades or want to hear about what they could upgrade, we can share that with you on our Discord. So if you haven't already, join the Discord, and let's chat about it in there. That's all. Okay. Well, thanks for watching tonight, and this episode will be up on YouTube soon. So if you're watching on YouTube, hi. Okay, bye everybody.
Happy Valentine's Day!
Thank you.
Love you. Bye.